Business masterminds are an incredible way to grow your business and to learn, both because they help you to be surrounded by people who can give you great ideas. They can be even a great source of revenues. You can monetize a business mastermind group. And in fact, I've done that for many years now, very successfully. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can create a successful mastermind group and, if you want, monetize it. One of the problems that people run into when they create a mastermind group is the group doesn't cohere, that it doesn't bond, and that they break up. Another problem is that they might fight or they might compete with each other or not get along and not support each other. Another problem is sometimes people don't give really good ideas, and then one person or some people decide, this isn't really worth it, I'm out. So the key to creating a great mastermind is to get a group that coheres around very clear guidelines and principles and a container or a structure that creates really good cross-pollination of ideas, sharing of best practices, and witnessing of each other. So one of the first things that you want to do is think about that you're not just creating a business mastermind group, you're creating a culture of shared values. When you do that, you're going to create a group that lasts over the long haul instead of breaking apart or dissolving. So in order to do that, my advice would be to start by creating a beta group. A beta is a test group. Now, if it works for software engineers, it can work for you. The idea is that you start with a small group, you test your theories, you test your content, you test your concepts and your guidelines, and you kind of get it right before you go and launch it out to a bigger community. So in order to use this strategy and start with a beta group, you obviously need to begin with who. A mastermind group lives and dies by the members who are in it. So it needs to be the right people together. I can't tell you how many times I've had the experience of being in a mastermind group that just wasn't the right people, that they didn't connect, or even worse, where we did connect, but there was one person that just didn't fit. So it's so important that you create those standards that have the right people in the mastermind. So what I would do if I were you and I was starting a new group, I would get clarity on who I want to be in here, and I'd create a list, a dream list. These are the people that I would want to have in my mastermind, specific people. And then what I would do is what I did the first time I launched my mastermind is I would call those people up and tell them, I have an idea, there's something I want to create, and I'd like you to be a part of it. Are you interested? And then enroll them in the vision. I want to pull together a group of these types of people to have these types of conversations in this way, in this format. If it were me, I'd say I want to pull together a group of intelligent, creative, visionary entrepreneurs that want to share ideas and best practices with each other. We would meet once a quarter and maybe over the phone once a month. How do you feel about that? Would you want to be involved in something like that? So enrolling people in the vision first and enrolling a small group of people into a test group to get it going, get it started, and work out the kinks. Another thing that's really important when you create a mastermind group is what are the rules of engagement? For example, whenever we do masterminding, I have some guidelines called communications best practices. And what they are is they say things like, only give advice of things that you've already done. Don't tell people about a book you read or a movie you watched or some coach that gave you some advice. Only share with others in the mastermind from your personal and direct experience. To create a mastermind group, you have to create an environment where it's safe to give and receive, where you know that your ideas are going to be respected, even the crazy ones, right? So you want to create an environment of openness and receptivity. When people block ideas, what you do is you stagnate the mastermind. Another thing to think about is how big do you want this thing to be? You know, when you have a mastermind, there's only so many people who can effectively mastermind at once. So if you have a group of 5 or 6 or 7, that's a pretty good sized group to mastermind, depending on how much time you want to invest. You know, in our masterminds, we like to give people somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes when we're doing a deep mastermind. And so we can only handle 10 or 12 people in a day to get that kind of a result. Now, if you want to do a shorter mastermind, but you want to have larger numbers of people, you might want to break out into 2 or 3 or more groups. That way you can handle a larger mastermind group. But what happens then is that not everybody gets to connect with everybody else. And again, this comes back to, what are you building here? Are you building something for the long haul, or are you building something for the short term? If it's for the long haul, then yeah, like you can have one mastermind group 1 month or 1 quarter meet with this 6 people. Then next quarter they switch. And so everybody gets to know everybody. But these are all things to think about in terms of as you're designing your program. And again, it helps to start with a beta and then grow from there. Another thing you want to think about is this going to be a paid mastermind? I promised you at the beginning of this video that I was going to talk about monetization. I believe there's a value in you going and creating this thing and you finding the people and pulling them together. And I believe that that value is worth something. It's worth compensation. So if you want, you can charge a fee for people to be part of the mastermind. You can charge it as an annual fee. You can charge it as a monthly fee. And you can have it, there can be an application process. There are all sorts of different ways to get the enrollments, but don't be scared of charging for this. You don't have to. I'm a member of paid masterminds and I'm a member of free masterminds of my colleagues. But the thing about it is, and I'll say this again and again, if people don't pay, they often don't play. In other words, if they don't pay, they don't value it or they don't pay attention. Right? And so when people have skin in the game, when they make an investment, they're way more likely to show up on time, and to meet those standards that you set. If the idea of leading and monetizing a mastermind group feels exciting to you and you want to go deeper, go ahead and visit superstaractivator.com/go, and you'll have an opportunity to set up some time on my calendar so we can explore if and how I might be able to support you in building out a mastermind program for your business. See you soon.